What's going on, ballers? Thanks so much for tuning in again and welcome back to another BigJBasketball box break video. Well, you can tell we're not breaking any boxes today because we got a big 20 card PSA reveal that just came back. Let's see, I sent this in March, just came back end of June, so a little over 3 months all in. So not super fast, but not terrible. Would have liked to get him back a little bit sooner, but I think that was reasonable. I did not record a preview video for this. So instead of doing a full preview video where I showed all 20 cards, I actually took shorter videos of each card one by one, and I'm gonna splice those in before we show off each card. So you'll get to see the card right before I sent it in and what my thoughts were on what grade it might get, and then we'll do the reveal right after. So we'll do that for all 20 cards. So I can't remember the last time I even got some cards back from PSA, so I didn't grade these myself. I actually bought these already graded, which I rarely do, but I got that Alonzo Mourning Topps Gold Rookie PSA 10 and this Ginobili Prizm Insert Gold PSA 10 pretty recently. But let's go ahead. We're going to cut away to the first preview, and then when we come back, we're going to look at the first card, and then we'll do that all the way through for all 20 cards. So let's take a look at the first preview right here. All right, first card up is a Caitlin Clark Fearless Silver from Prizm Draft Picks. Hit this out of a blaster not too long ago. Everything looked super clean to me. I wasn't sure about the centering. I thought maybe it might be a little bottom heavy, like the image was pushed too far to the top, but I looked at some photos of other ones and they pretty much all look like that, so I'm assuming that's just the design. But edges, corners, everything looks really good on the front and the back. Let's take a quick look at the back. Not seeing any problems there, so hopefully we can get a 10 on this Caitlin Clark. All right, so here's our first card back, Caitlin Clark Fearless. It looked really good to me in the preview, so let's see if it got a 10. Ooh, it did get a 10, very nice. That's probably like a $70 or $80 card. And Prizm Draft, I mean, I know a lot of people don't really like it, but you know, it can be valuable at times if you can pull something like this, especially with Caitlin Clark's card still on fire. All right, so that's one card for the 10 stack. Let's take a look at the next preview. Next up, we got a Tijan Salan Prizm Rookie serial number. This is going to be to 299. So pulled this out of a blaster as well. The 299 right there on the back. This is the red seismic. It was the only numbered card I pulled out of a Prizm blaster when I ripped those. And again, everything looks super clean. Not seeing anything with the edges, corners, all looks good. Couldn't find any surface issues. Centering looks good. Back looks good as well. So hopefully, let's see, hopefully we can get another 10 on this one. All right, and here we go, the Tijan Salan, number to 299. This was the red seismic, pulled from a blaster. And let's see how we did on this one. PSA 9, I definitely needed a 10 on this one. I only graded this because it was a numbered Prizm rookie, but I don't think so. Even as a 10, it probably wouldn't have been super valuable, but a 9, that's kind of a bummer. All right, that's going in the 9 stack. Let's take a look at the next card now. Some more Prizm. We got a Rob Dillingham Rookie True Silver now. Again, pulled this, I think, Mega Box maybe? I think out of a Mega Box. And again, centering looks good, top to bottom, left to right, no issues there. Surface was super clean, edges and corners looked good on the front. Same thing on the back, even on like the dark corner down there and up here, didn't see any white or any problems at all. So once again, hoping for a 10 on this one. All right, so here's that Rob Dillingham Silver Prizm. And again, this looked super clean to me. So let's see how we did on this one. Geez. I don't know what I missed on this. I mean, I don't know, maybe centering a little bit. I guess it is skinny on the left and maybe a little bit thicker on the right. I don't know. All right, there's another PSA 9 from 2024 Prizm. We got another 2024 Prizm coming next. So let's see how we did on this one. And one more card from 2024 Prizm. We got Stefan Castle. Maybe, we'll see. He's leading candidate to be Rookie of the Year. We'll see. Maybe by the time I get this back, they'll actually announce those winners. So he might actually be Rookie of the Year by the time this comes back. Once again, checked out the centering, looked good. Didn't find any issues otherwise. Corners, edges, surface, all looked great on the front and the back. So once again, hoping for a 10 on this one too. All right, this is the last 2024 Prizm card. Castle, Pink Ice. I mean, I thought it looked good, but let's see. Oh my God. You know what? I don't know, maybe I didn't pay attention to the centering close enough. Maybe I thought it was good enough, but now I can see it is a little bit fatter on the left compared to the right. Maybe they're super strict on centering on Prizm this year. All right, well, that's not a good showing for a 2024 Prizm, and so far only 1 in the 10 stack, 3 in the 9 stack. All right, we got to turn this around. Let's take a look at the next preview. Now from Donruss, we got an optic preview of Alex Sarr, and these I think were more rare than I realized when I pulled this. I hit it out of a Donruss hobby box, and I kind of was like, oh, okay, whatever. But haven't seen too many copies of these show up. At least I'm recording this in advance before I ship them all in, so maybe more will show up by the time these come back. But didn't really see a whole lot of these out there, so I figured might have a chance to get a nice low pop PSA 10, hopefully. Centering might be a little off, little skinny on the top, little fat on the bottom. So if it does get a 9, that might be what does it, top to bottom centering. But overall looked really clean. So again, front and back looked really good. Couldn't really find any issues. So again, hoping for a 10. All right, so we've got our Sarr back. And again, I think I mentioned this in the preview that I didn't think there was many graded of this, and I'm pretty sure there weren't. I don't think there was any. I think this might have been the first one graded from this optic hollow preview. Not that they're super rare. I guess no one's really grading these. But if we can get a 10, might be a pop 1. That would be nice. Let's see. Ooh, there we go. PSA 10. And I think this should be a pop 1. I'll have to double check the pop report after the video. But hey, that's not too bad. I'll take a pop 1 PSA 10 on that Sarr. All right, let's go. Let's start building up this 10 stack now. Let's take a look at the next preview. Got some Wemby stuff now, rookie year Wemby stuff. This is a City Edition hollow, or I guess City Edition silver. I forget if they're called hollows or silvers in premium stock. I saw a lot of these that are off center with, it's a really clear border, so it's really easy to tell if one of these is off center, but this one looked absolutely dead centered to me. Didn't see any issues at all. Real nice shine on it. Again, with the all dark background, no chipping or anything on the corners or edges. Everything looked super clean. So once again, keep it going. Hopefully we can get a 10. All right, this is the first of, I think, 4 Wembys we got here. City Edition silver, and this thing looked dead on center to me. I didn't see anything wrong with this card, so I will be surprised if we can't get a 10 on this one. There we go. PSA 10 on the Wemby. Any Wemby rookie parallel that gets a PSA 10 has got to be worth it. So really happy with that one. Okay, now we're back on track. We got 3 10s, 3 9s. Let's see if we can keep building on that 10 stack. And let's take a look at the next preview. Another Wemby, not anything super special here, just a regular optic rated rookie. But once again, looked clean to me. Centering looked really good all the way around. So see no issues there. Everything else looks good. No surface, no edge, no corner issues. I think these are still worth grading, and if it gets a 10. If it gets a 9, it might not be worth it, but hopefully it's still worth it if this one can get a 10. All right, so here's our second Wemby back, and this was just a base optic, nothing crazy. I don't think they're super valuable, even in a 10. We definitely need a 10 though. I don't think this would be worth it in a 9, so hopefully we can get a 10 on this one. All right, there we go. PSA 10. Just the base, it's probably like 40 bucks as a 10, maybe somewhere in that range, but hey, I'll take it. All right, now we got more 10s and 9s. Let's keep building on that. Next preview. Now this Wemby is a little bit bigger. This is the first and only serial numbered parallel I pulled of Wemby from his rookie year. This is Epic Performers from Mosaic, hit it out of a retail pack. This is the blue reactive, which are typically not numbered on base cards, but on the inserts, they are numbered to 99. So you can see this one is numbered 97 out of 99. Might be hard to see on video, but there was, you can kind of see it. See a very faint print line that runs right through the top of his head there and goes through the card. Typically, really thin print lines like that shouldn't cause any issues with the grade. So hopefully they overlooked that tiny little print line there. There's no big fat print lines or anything. And everything else looks really clean. So this would be really, really awesome to get a 10 in this. Even a 9 wouldn't be the worst thing in the world since it's serial numbered, but would love to get a 10 on this one. All right, this is the one I was really hoping gets a 10. This is numbered at a 99. It's the reactive blue. And I mentioned in the preview about this, that little print line going right through his head. So hopefully we can get a 10, but if we get a 9, I'm betting that's what did it. Let's see. Oh man, the one Wemby I really wanted a 10 on, of course, is the one that comes back a 9. Okay. Still serial number to 99. It's not terrible, and a PSA 9 is probably still like 70 or 80 bucks, but probably would have been over 200. In a PSA 10, all right, we're even again with the 9 and 10 stacks. I don't like it. Let's get more 10s. Come on, next preview. Here we go. And one last Wemby. This is from Haunted Hoops. It's the orange parallel. I graded a base Wemby from this set, got a 10, and it was barely worth grading. So hopefully the orange, since it's a parallel, maybe it has a slightly lower pop, maybe a little bit of a better value if this one gets a 10. But once again, centering looked good and clean all the way around. Couldn't find any edge, corner, or surface issues. Really clean card all the way around. So again, definitely shooting for a 10 on this one. All right, last Wemby, and it's another cheap one. This one came from Haunted Hoops, but this was the orange parallel, so at least it was better than the base. It is a parallel, but still, as far as Wemby parallels, I said any Wemby parallel and a 10 is worth grading. This is probably the closest one. That's like the cutoff of if you can't get a 10 in this, it's definitely not worth grading, but let's see how he did on this one. Okay, PSA 10, back on track. Of course, we get 10s in the cheap Wembys, and the expensive one gets a 9, but whatever. Okay, at least we got 5 10s now. All right, let's take a look at the next preview. Here we got an Ausar Thompson Prizm Silver Rookie. For the top rookies, it's typically still a really good idea to grade any silvers. They're probably not going to be huge money, but should definitely still be worth grading if it gets a 10. Centering is probably 55, 45, or maybe even like 53, 47. It is really, really, really close. It basically has the exact same centering as a Brandon Miller silver that I sent in and graded and got a 10 a little while ago. So hopefully they treat this one the same. Left to right centering is pretty much dead on. And everything else looked clean. Didn't find any surface, corner, edge issues. So hopefully if that centering is good enough, it'll get a 10, but if it gets a 9, it might be because that was just a little too far outside their tolerance, but hopefully a 10. All right, Ausar Thompson, Prizm Silver Rookie. He kind of, he was injured at the beginning of the year, but he came on pretty strong towards the end of the year, played pretty good in the playoffs. Hopefully we'll see a jump from him next year. And again, looked really, really good to me. Centering might be a little bit off. It might be like 55, 45. Left to right looks good though. Let's see. All right, another PSA 10, Prizm Silver Rookie, Ausar Thompson. Love to see that. Going in the 10 stack. All right, let's take a look at our next preview now. All right, no PSA sub would be complete without a card that you absolutely need to get a 10 on. My last sub, I had a Luka Doncic, just like this, a Sheesh Silver parallel. And the Luka that I sent ended up getting a 9. Wasn't really sure why it got a 9, so again, kind of risky to send this one in as well. Hopefully it doesn't get a 9, but again, couldn't find anything wrong with it. Sometimes I feel like they just give you a 9 if they've given you too many 10s already. But hopefully we can get a 10 on this one. All right, so like I mentioned during the preview, this is one of those ones that kind of needs to be a 10. I had a Luka just like this, got a PSA 9. Really hoping this staff can get a PSA 10. Again, didn't see anything wrong with it, but you never know. Let's see if we can get that 10. Here we go. All right. Curry Sheesh Silver 10, love to see it. Any Curry parallel in a 10 is always nice as well. Again, not super valuable. It's still probably like, I don't know, 30, 35 bucks. Not a huge card, but definitely needed that one to get a 10. Our 10 stack is getting bigger than our 9 stack now. Okay, let's go and take a look at another preview. All right, next card, we got a Paulo. This is from Select. It's the concourse level, so the lowest level. It says concourse up there, but it is the Red Wave, which was exclusive to Team All product. So not a super rare parallel, not numbered, but also not as common as a lot of the other retail parallels. Everything looked good. The centering, again, might be a little, just very slightly off. If you look at the left and then look at the right, it's a little skinny on the right compared to the left. Again, should still be within 55, 45 tolerances, but hopefully the centering doesn't crush me on this one. Everything else looks like it should get a 10, so hopefully you can get another 10 on this one. All right, this is our last card of a non-PC player. This is Paulo Rookie from Select. This is the Red Wave. Pulled this out of a Team All box. It was still called Team All back then. It wasn't called International. And again, I was a little worried about centering. Pretty close, but it's a little bit off. Let's see if it was close enough to get a 10. All right, there we go. Magic should be good next year. Let's see if Paulo has another big season. PSA 10 Rookie. 10 stack getting bigger. All right, let's take a look at our next preview. All right, now moving on to some PC cards. Although this is not really a PC card, I have two of these. I bought one a while back, and then I recently picked up another copy. And since I had two, I knew I was going to probably sell one of them. And so I looked at both and tried to figure out if either of them would be worth grading. I had another one that looked like it might get a 9. It was a little bit off center, a little surface issue. This one looked immaculate though. This is from 2023 Prizm, the Cherry Blossom. Choice exclusive, that's why it has the choice scope pattern on it that Prizm uses for all their choice parallels. Dead centered all the way around, no surface, edge, or corner issues on the front. Same thing on the back, super clean. This is numbered 12 out of 20. So it'd be really nice to get this one back as a PSA 10. I think PSA 10s of this still sell for really, really well. So I'd love to get a 10 on this one. Probably would show up in a future consolidation project if it can get a 10. All right, this is the first in our run of like 7 Deni cards. This is from Prizm 2023, and this is number 12 out of 20. This is the Cherry Blossom Choice, and man, this looked sweet to me. I would be surprised if this didn't get a 10. I know I didn't do great on 2024 Prizm, but I've been better on 2023 Prizm. Let's see if we can get a gem mint on this one. Ooh, there we go. And this, I already have another raw copy, as I mentioned in the preview, so this is probably going to be included the next time I do a Deni consolidation, which should be coming soon. My Ginobili consolidation is finished. The card I bought is on the way. So as soon as I do the part 2 of my Ginobili consolidation, I'm going to start a new one for Deni because I got a lot of doubles of his stuff that I could probably sell for some big money and use that to upgrade into a new big card. All right, we're on a nice stack of nice run of 10s now. Let's see if we can keep that going. Let's take a look at the next preview. All right, this is another card I already have one of in my PC. It did the same thing as the last card. I looked at both of them and tried to figure out would either of these really be worth grading. And this one, again, looked completely perfect. This is from 2021 Chronicles, National Pride. I really like the blue color match, not just with the jersey, but with the flag in the background as well. And the blue is numbered out of 25. So again, I'll probably keep the raw copy if this one can get a PSA 10, although the back centering is pretty far off. If you look at the back centering is not great, but they usually are not as picky on that. We'll see. But hopefully PSA 10, and hopefully it will show up in another consolidation video at some point when I upgrade to another new Deni card. All right, and as I mentioned in the preview, this is probably another card that may be in a consolidation. This is National Pride second year auto from Chronicles, but it's numbered to 25. It's a pretty rare card. I do have a raw copy, but I had a double, and this one looked good enough to get a 10. I had a little trouble judging the centering. I didn't really know where left to right was supposed to be. The borders are kind of weird on this, but it just looked like a clean, sharp card to me. No issues anywhere. Again, unless I hope I judge right on the centering. We'll see if I guess right on that. All right, what's the grade? Ooh, there we go. Another PSA 10. All right, again, so probably not going to keep this one since I have a raw copy already, and all the other ones I have in this, all the other parallels I have, like the red, I have the gold, the 10, none of those are graded. So it doesn't really make sense for me to keep a graded copy of this if I can get good money for it and turn it into something I want better for my PC. All right, 10 stack continues to grow. Well, how many 10s in a row did we just get? I think we got, okay, so we got a 9 on that Wemby, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all right, 6 10s in a row. Let's see if we can keep that 10 streak going. Let's take a look at our next preview. And so the rest of the cards now are all straight PC cards, definitely not moving or selling any of those. Let's take a look at the next preview. All right, in this last batch of cards, this starts the set of PC cards that I'm definitely keeping, not selling or flipping any of these. This is his Deni's Select Tie-Dye Premier Level die cut, numbered out of 25. So I already have PSA 10s of both the concourse and the courtside. The concourse, I have the jersey numbered 9 out of 25, and the courtside, I also have a PSA 10. And there are no PSA 10s in existence of this card, but man, it looks clean. I know die cuts are really, really tough, but let's kind of take a look at all those edges and corners, and everything looks super clean and sharp to me. Didn't see anything on the surface. Even on the back, a lot of times these edges and corners, you can see little dings or little white spots or nicks or anything like that. But once again, this just looked super clean all the way around. So this would be awesome to get the very first PSA 10 to this card and add it to the other 10s that I already have. But if it gets a 9, I wouldn't be super disappointed, just because I know how tough these can be to grade these die cuts. Okay, I was super excited for this one to come back. This is tie-dye, premier level, Deni rookie, numbered out of 25, die cut. And as I mentioned in the preview, I have PSA 10s of both the concourse and the courtside in a tie-dye. There were no PSA 10s of this when I sent it in. So if this gets a 10, it's gonna be a pop 1. Let's go, come on. Oh, yes, 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 oh my God. Oh, I was not expecting that. Again, like I mentioned during the preview, it looked so clean to me, but you just never know with these die cuts. Oh my God, pop 1. And I put these off to the side just in case this happened. Whew. Concourse, premier level, courtside, tie-dye, all PSA 10. Oh my God, and this concourse is also jersey number, 9 out of 25. And since this premier level is a pop 1, and I mean, I can't imagine there's gonna be a whole bunch of these being graded. It took me so long even to find a raw copy of this, let alone any graded copy. So there we go, trifecta of PSA 10 tie-dye rookies that literally no one else in the world has, because that's only a pop 1. Unbelievable. All right, I'm feeling good now. Let's see if we can keep this 10 streak going. Come on, let's take a look at the next preview. Another PC card, Deni Prizm Pink Pulsar rookie. So I typically have only graded the color match parallels of Deni's serial numbered Prizm cards, but I'm grading this one because it's jersey numbered, 9 out of 42. So I like the idea of adding this slab to my PC. Top to bottom centering is a little bit off. You can see it's a little thick on the bottom, a little thin on top. Again, hopefully still within that 55-45 range. But if this doesn't get a 10, I'm gonna assume that's probably the culprit. Left to right centering looks awesome. And these cards are very notorious. I've looked at and graded a lot of 2020 Prizm because since Deni's in my PC, a lot of these cards have little white spots down here, and in the corners, same thing with these dark corners. I've seen a lot of cards with white spots that have been preventing me from getting 10s on some other ones I've sent in the past, but this is super clean on the back all the way around. The only minor issue is that centering on the front. Hopefully it's good enough to still get a 10, but if it gets a 9, that's probably why. All right, there's not much better than a jersey numbered Prizm parallel, 9 out of 42. Bought this on Instagram. I almost didn't buy it. I was like, Pink Pulsar. I was really only going after his color match parallels like reds and blues and things like that. But someone on Instagram offered this to me and I kind of hemmed and hawed. And then I said, you know what, let's just do it. And I got this at a very fair price at the time. It was not too expensive, and Deni's cards had not really started spiking at all. So most of his stuff was still pretty cheap. So Pink Pulsar, jersey numbered rookie. Come on, let's see that 10. Yes, yes, oh my God. Oh man, nothing like a jersey numbered Prizm parallel to just 42. I think the last PSA 10 of this sold for like over $200, so jersey number copy definitely gets a premium on that. But again, not selling that, that's staying in the PC. Man, that 10 stack is getting bigger and bigger. Let's keep this going. All right, next preview. All right, these last 4 cards are all bangers now for my PC. We got the Donruss Hollow Gold Laser, just an awesome looking card. This is serial numbered out of 10. Love it. And once again, centering looked really good. Although with these paper Donruss cards, they can be hard to grade sometimes. I looked it over really closely. Some of the corners, it's hard to tell if it's just a design, like this is the way the card was printed and cut, but they were a little like kind of soft. You can't even really tell on the video. It looks super sharp on the video, but when you look outside of the sleeve, just holding it, I couldn't quite tell if they were gem mint worthy or if they were like just dinged up enough that it might get a 9. So hopefully worst case scenario, we get a 9. Doesn't really matter, it's a PC card, but would love to get a 10 on a gold rookie like this one. All right, another big Deni rookie. Got this off Card Hobby a couple months ago. Gold laser rookie. These are so hard to find, and man, I love this. These gold lasers are just the best. There's really not many paper cards that look better than this one. Serial numbered out of 10. I have no idea what this is going to grade. It could be anywhere from an 8 to a 9 to a 10. So let's just let's just see that 10. Come on. Oh my God. Yes. Oh man, what a run of 10s on all these rare Deni rookies. Oh my God. This is crazy. This is unbelievable. Oh my God. I wasn't really sure about this one, but man, that looks awesome in that PSA 10 slab. Let's go. All right, we only got like 3 cards left. Let's take a look at the next preview. All right, we've got another gold rookie here. This is Hoops Artist Proof Gold, 10 out of 10. And this is actually, I bought already graded. This was a HGA 9.5. And I've graded some other HGA 9.5s, cracked them out, and sent them to PSA and got 10s. And this one actually had 2 perfect 10 subgrades. Corners and edges, 10s, which is kind of like a BGS Black Label 10. Surface and centering were 9.5, so that's their true gem mint. Although it did get a 9.5 on the centering, but it's again a little off. It's definitely thicker on the left than on the right. Hopefully still within the 55-45 rule, but again, visually you can tell it is a little bit off. Everything else though, it looks perfect. And again, judge with if HGA didn't overgrade this, it should come back a PSA 10, but I'm a little worried about that centering. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully a 10, but worst case scenario, the centering brings it down to a 9, but let's see. All right, as shown in the preview, this is Deni's Hoops Gold rookie number to 10. This was previously graded HGA 9.5 Gem Mint 10, and it was not only a Gem Mint 10, it had 2 perfect 10 subgrades on the corners and edges. Surface and centering both got 9.5, which again, that's their Gem Mint grade. Kind of works the same way that BGS does. All right, so let's see if PSA agrees with HGA. Although again, I did mention in the preview video, I was a little worried about the centering because it looks thicker on the left than the right, but let's see if we can keep this 10 streak going. Come on. Oh, no. Oh, PSA 9. So I guess PSA said, well, we don't agree with you, HGA, even though they said 9.5. PSA said only a 9, but that's okay. This is a PC card anyway, so not going anywhere. So definitely happy. I mean, obviously, if I could have kept the 10 streak going with all those Deni cards, that would have been incredible. But not surprised that one of them got a 9. And I'm actually not surprised that this was the one that got a 9 because that centering was definitely a little bit off. So one more card in the 9 stack, but still way more 10s than 9s overall. Let's take a look at the next preview. All right, these last 2 cards are monsters. This is the first and only 1 of 1 of Deni that I have in my PC. And when I bought it, I wasn't sure if I would grade it or not, but I looked it over and I feel like this has just as good a chance to get a 10 as basically any other card. In this submission, this looked super clean all the way around. Centering looked awesome. Left to right was great. Top to bottom was awesome. 1 of 1 right there, gold vinyl. Back centering a little bit off. Again, definitely thicker on that side than that side, but they typically give more leeway on the back centering. Didn't find anything with the edges or corners. Looked really clean all the way around. So would love to have this 1 of 1 in a PSA 10 slab. Let's see what happens. All right, last Deni Avdija card of the submission. Left this one for last. 1 of 1, the only 1 of 1 in my Deni PC. And man, do I love the way these gold vinyls look. Such a sick card. And Deni doesn't have a lot of gold vinyls. I mean, they were only around in like Optic and maybe a couple other sets like this Hoops Premium one. So he doesn't have a ton of gold vinyls in any Panini product. So that's kind of why I wanted this to be my first 1 of 1. And it looked perfect all the way around. I could not find anything wrong with this card. So to get a 10 on this would just be unbelievable. Let's go. PSA 10, 1 of 1, gold vinyl. Man, this is like, if these were the only cards I had in my Deni Avdija PC, that would be a pretty good PC. So I got some huge upgrades to my collection on this this return. All right, we only got 1 card left to go. Let's take a look at the preview for this one. And the very last card here, we got Manu Ginobili Revolution Galactic. Bought this raw off eBay. This is from 2015 Revolution, very first year of Galactic, and there's no real, answer to what the print runs are, but I think the first year is probably the most rare. Just an awesome looking card all the way around. Love the shine on that. Love the design in the background. When I bought this, I missed out right before, not right before, months before. There were 2 different copies of BGS 9.5s of this that sold for a ton. So I got this raw copy a little cheaper than those. So I figure send it to PSA. Maybe we can get an even more valuable card than the BGS 9.5s. But I would be surprised if this got a 10. There's no PSA 10s of this card in existence. There's only a couple 9s, I think, maybe 1 or 2. So for this to get the very first PSA 10, it'll probably have to be perfect. It looks really clean on the front. The back, though, with all dark edges and borders, I'm just worried there might be a little bit of white that will bring it down. See, it's really, really hard to see. There's like a teeny white spot right above the number here. Not sure if that's really showing up on video or not. But there's like the smallest of white spots right there. So we'll see. I mean, I would go nuts if this comes out to be a 10, but if it gets a 9, I won't be upset at all. It'll just stay in the PC. So let's see what this one got. All right, here it is. Last card, Ginobili, first year Revolution. The only year he was in Revolution, 2015. And it is the Galactic. Case hit back then. I doubt there were nearly as many cases produced back then as there are now. So Galactics from 2015, definitely harder to come by than a lot of the other years. Such an awesome looking card. And again, I did say I was a little worried about this one. There was no PSA 10s when I sent this in. It's got these dark borders all around the back. There's a little bit of white in that corner. It looked pretty good, but again, with no PSA 10s, for this to be the first one graded like 10 years after release, that would be incredible. But let's see if we got it. Oh, no, I got a PSA 9. Again, not a huge deal at all. Again, the BGS 9.5s that sold this sold for a ton. And honestly, PSA 9s are not worth that much less than BGS 9.5s at this point. It might be a little bit of a premium on the BGS, but overall, very, very happy to have this in a PSA 9. Probably worth more than the raw cop, when I bought it raw. I'm sure if I resold this as a PSA 9, probably would sell for a little bit more than a raw copy would, for sure. But wow. So overall, only a couple 9s. I mean, I kind of expected a 9, not super surprised on this one. This one I really was hoping for a 10, but that print line probably killed it. And the rest of these 9s, I don't know if I really want to grade much more 2024 Prizm now, because I thought these all looked pretty good, but those all got 9s. And then, wow, look at this 10 stack. We got a 1 of 1 gold laser rookie, jersey numbered Prizm rookie, Pop 1 tie-dye die cut. Got 9s on both of these cards. These cherry blossoms still sell for a ton, so that'll be really good for the next consolidation. And then a whole bunch of other 10s. Prizm stuff, Wemby rookie stuff. This one's really nice. We got this Pop 1, I think Alex Sarr, and then the Caitlin Clark as well. So man, overall, really, really, really happy with this PSA returns. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one.